Before we do anything, we need to make sure that our sensitivity is not too high. To do this, I usually just walk over to this pillar and move back and forth, maybe a good 6 or 7 feet away from the pillar, and just move side to side and make sure that you can still aim your cursor at the pillar. If you can't do that, then your sensitivity is definitely too high. You need to be able to track specific spots on your screen at all times. So I recommend nothing higher than 600 DPI. Just make sure that in your game settings you have, using multiplier, make sure your effective DPI is 600 or less. The first part of training is just trying to get headshots with whatever your preferred assault rifle is. Just pull it up, make sure the speed is on medium and bot armor is on, and then aim for about 25 would be what I would recommend your goal be. I've sped this up a little bit since this took me a little bit of time since I was a little bit cold, so just remember the goal is to hit 25. Obviously, these are personal goals that I set for myself. You can obviously set them for whatever your skill level is, but I recommend you push yourself at least. You shouldn't be able to get this first try. It should take a few tries to do. You'll notice in between shots, after I've, either hit or miss, I return my cursor back to the middle pillar just to reset. Usually if you're in an actual game, you'll want to reset it, whatever head height is, so that you're prepared to only have to move horizontally to hit your target. The next part of training is the hard difficulty setting, with bot armor still on, still using your preferred assault rifle, and this time my target is 15. Once again, this is sped up. This is really helpful for practicing your flicking technique. You'll want to make sure that you can accurately swing to a specific spot on your screen, so this will really warm you up in that way. Next, I practice the same system, or the same test, but with the sheriff instead, just to practice those head taps. This time I usually aim for 10 or 15 if I really want to keep going. Next are spraying practices. Start with the frenzy and just do it on easy with full bot armor on, and try and hit at least 25 of these. For the frenzies, especially for those that are longer range, I try and hit the head with the first shot and then quickly drag down the left leg, because that is how the frenzy spray pattern works for the first few shots. Just try and hit as many of these targets as you can, preferably without taking single shots to the head. Full auto. Next is another spray test, this time using the Spectre. We put bot armor on and we leave the speed at medium, and our goal for this one is to hit 20. For the Spectre when spraying, I aim at the head for the first shot and then drag down to slightly below the neck, as some of those shots will drift up and hit another headshot potentially. It's also worth noting the Spectre has a lot less vertical recoil than the Frenzy does, so you do not have to drag down nearly as hard. Now we move on to martial practicing. This is really, for me, the first practice system here is actually testing for op skills. You want to set bot armor to off so it only takes one martial shot, and then set the speed to hard, and then just try and hit as many of these bodies as you can. Obviously, you can only hit every other target, so your maximum is 15, but my target is 13 since some of them will spawn in outside of my scope. And you can't really do anything about that. So aim for 13 on this one. Now we actually practice getting headshots with the Marshal. So we leave the move the speed to medium and set the bot armor on, so we have to aim for heads. And this one you should be able to get quite a few on, so aim for 25. I called it good at 20 at this point. Normally I aim for 25, but I was feeling a little weary after all the practicing that I've been doing preparing for this video, so aim for 25 on the last one for sure, especially if you are the dedicated marksman on your team. That is it. I would recommend that you do this practice tool at least once a day, and maybe spend no more than 30 minutes on it, but try and go through all of these different phases of practice, and it'll round out, and you should definitely notice improvements to your aim as you do this every day. And good luck. Well, at least I got one.